Yo, what's up guys, hope you guys are doing good. So today we are gonna see, what if Banished Naruto refuses to help Konoha, part 1. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. So let's get into the video. We are all gathered here today to see justice occur to the demon boy, Naruto Uzumaki. His crime is almost killing our precious and loyal Sasuke Uchiha after having left the village due to Orochimaru's control over him. His executioner will be Sasuke himself. How in the world did it come to this? Thinks and awaits Naruto. Flashback, I finally did it. I beat Sasuke and now I'll be able to keep my promise to Sakura. Kid, you sure did. Great job. Thanks Caillou, but what do you think the council would do to you for hurting their precious Uchiha? I guess you're right. But it was a mission. Surely Bachan can do something. Oh look, Kakashi is on his way. Cutting the connection, he sees Kakashi heading towards him. Hey sensei. Look, then he fell unconscious. Waking up, he looks around and sees that he's inside a hospital. Remembering what happens, he wants to get out of bed but is stopped by the newcomer. Whoa there Naruto. Take it easy. I see you're awake. Yeah, Shikamaru. Is everyone else alright? Is Sasuke back? Yes. We finished the mission, Naruto, and it's all thanks to you. You did well. He said as he smiled at his friend. The blonde had surprised him a lot and he was grateful for what he had done. Say where everyone is. How long was I out? Everyone's doing fine now. Before not so much. Kiba is getting discharged today though. The others are asleep though. Get some rest. Then he left. The next day, as he was walking around the hospital, he was met with the rest of the Konoha 12 and their senseis, except without his own team members and sensei. They greeted him and asked if he was well. Naruto, when you were first brought in there was a hole through your jumper where your heart was. What happened? Kurenai asked. Everyone there had also wondered the same thing. Well, you see, it was Sasuke who put a Chidori right through it. It was healed though. He said as he scratched the back of his head, embarrassed. What? That jerk. I can't believe that I actually liked him. I feel so grossed out. Ino exclaimed as she jumped up and down, much to the amusement of others. But how the hell did it heal? That's impossible, Kiba yelled. I have to agree with the mutt here. You don't just heal. Niji said. Naruto just looked down and shuffled his feet, not knowing what to say. There's something that you're not telling us, isn't there? Shikamaru said. It's not that I don't want to tell you. It's that you might hate me like my own team once you do. We won't hate you, Naruto. But why would your team not like you? Chaoji asked. Taking a deep breath, he said. 12 years ago, well almost 13, when the Caillou. Naruto. That's forbidden. If it's so forbidden, then why does everyone know? If it was forbidden, then I would have had a normal childhood. If it's so, he was cut off as he held his wound and collapsed on the ground. Naruto. They all yelled. Just then Tsunade and Jiraiya came into the hospital and saw the blonde collapsing on the ground. They ran over and asked what happened as Tsunade placed him back in his room and began fixing him. Outside, they all just pondered on what happened. Jiraiya-san, could you please tell us what really happened 12 years ago when the Kyuubi attacked? That's what he was going to tell us until someone glares at Asuma told him it was forbidden. Shikamaru said. Well, if he was going to tell you, then he might trust you enough, so Jai told them everything about how it attacked and the fourth sealed it in Naruto and all. When he was finished, some of the girls were crying and the guys felt so guilty. They all regretted what they had done towards the blonde over the years. But they all had one thing in mind, and that they were going to change. But why would the fourth be put into Naruto of all people? Did they have a connection? Shino asked. This had the three senses listening as well. This is also a secret that you can't tell. The fourth Hokage is Naruto's father. His full name is Naruto Namikaze Uzumaki. No one knows this though, and I don't think he does either. Jiraiya said. Whoa, he's the son of the fourth. That's awesome. Kiba exclaimed. Yeah, it's. The flames of youth shine brightly in Naruto. Lee said. I can't believe that they see him as a demon. I mean, can they tell the difference between a kunai and the scroll used to seal it in? Tenten said. I feel really bad for the little one. Where is Kakashi anyway? Asuma said as he looked around. Don't bother. It's troublesome, but he's been here for a week and didn't even bother going to Naruto. He and Sakura just went to Sasuke's room. Every day, if I may add. That's unacceptable. He's playing favorites. Kurenai exclaimed. That's the most youthful indeed. I am disappointed in my rival. Man, we were all horrible to him, huh? I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna change. I'll be the greatest friend he ever had. Ino exclaimed. The others smiled, saying their me toos. Just then Tsunade came out. Is Naruto going to be alright? Hinata asked, finally coming out of her shock. Well, he's stable. He'll be alright. Just needs some rest. Looking around, she asked, where is Kakashi and his other teammates? Sasuke was released earlier yesterday. None of them came here. I can't believe that Kakashi would do that to his own sensei's son. Jiraiya said. Anbu, bring me Kakashi Haddock, Sasuke Uchiha, and Sakura Haruno. She addressed Anbu. I can't believe this. She yelled, frightening everyone there. There was a scary dark aura surrounding her. Naruto opened the door and looked outside, meeting the others who asked him immediately how he was. Tsunade dragged him back into his room, which was then flooded by everyone else there. When he found out that they were told about the Kyuubi and didn't hate him for it, let a few tears down and thanked them with a genuine smile, not like the fake ones before. When they arrived, they were greeted with a huge amount of killing intent from the senseis and the two. Lady Tsunade. You called. Kakashi said. Behind him was Sakura, fanning over Sasuke, and Sasuke who was brooding due to his defeat by the blonde. When she saw Naruto, she ran up and wanted to beat him but was blocked by everyone there. What do you think you're doing with Sakura? I'm going to beat him up. Did you know that he beat Sasuke up and almost killed him? She screeched. Shut up little girl. Tsunade said. Kakashi, I called you here to ask why you or your team have not come to meet Naruto during his stay. I'm an Uchiha, an elite. Why would I want to visit a peasant clanless loser like him? He said. Well guess what you stuck up Uchiha, this clanless loser, as you said, kicked your ass and dragged it back to the village. Shikamaru shot back. He just got lucky that's all. Enough. I ask you a question, Kakashi. Why didn't you come visit your student? Let me be honest with you, Hokage-sama. Naruto had almost killed Sasuke and I didn't teach him to kill a fellow shinobi. I am really disappointed in him. I don't think that he deserved to be visited. Oh, is that so? Has a dark aura, so are you trying to tell me that the fact that Naruto had a fist-sized hole in his chest didn't matter? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Haddock? Lady Tsunade, he only did that to defend himself and nothing more. But Naruto used it Uzumaki and that was dangerous. So sensei, are you trying to say that I have no talent whatsoever? That I was a waste of your time, considering that you taught me absolutely nothing? Let me ask you this and answer honestly, did you even want me on your team? Do you see me as a good-for-nothing dead weight on your team? Naruto said as he looked Kakashi in the eye, not giving away anything. Well, since you want me to answer you honestly, then yes. I never wanted you on my team. You were the dead last, a prankster, and I bet that your parents were talentless bastards and whores. Everyone wide-eyed at what he said, but Naruto just smiled, confusing many. Kakashi, that was very youthful of you. How could you say such things? Guy exclaimed. Kurenai just walked up to him and slapped him across the face. What the hell did you just say, you bastard? How could you say such things to him? Have you lost your mind? I can't believe you, Kakashi, that's the most disgusting thing you could have ever said. Asuma said. Well, it's true. Naruto Baka just almost killed Sasuke-kun. He should have just died, that little demon. He's just a monster that no one cares about. Sakura was cut off with a punch in the stomach. Everyone looked at who it was and noticed three dark figures emitting a dark and scary killing intent. The one who punched her was none other than Hinata, and behind her was the two. Listen here, you pink-haired slut, if you ever call Naruto a demon or a monster one more time, then I'll beat you so bad to the point that no one would recognize you. She said in a dark and sadistic tone. From that day on, no one wanted to get her that angry again. I can't believe that you dare say such things towards my apprentice. Why I out, Jiraiya started as he struggled to grab and beat down Kakashi, who was visibly shaken. You people don't know anything. He's an orphan that no one likes and should just die. He should have been grateful that he would be killed by an Uchiha. An orphan, Ino starts, then what exactly are you? They all just look at him, wondering the same thing, while Sasuke and Sakura shocked at what Ino said, thinking that she was still a fangirl. You talk about how great your clan is when you're nothing, but a stuck-up spoiled little brat who only knows how to ride and use his family name. Ino. How could you? She's right, they all turned to Neji. If the Uchiha clan was so great, then why were they completely killed off, excluding you, and by a person our own age? I know, right? You pathetic. If they were all this bad, then, thank God they're all gone. Kiba added. It would be troublesome dealing with such pain every day. As they continued to belittle the Uchihas, Kakashi had enough, since Obito was a part of it. That's enough. How could you say such things? Don't you know that it would affect others? He exclaimed. They were stopped by an insane evil laugh. Turning around, they saw Naruto hold his sides and laugh so hard. I see, so my father was a bastard and my mother a whore, is that what you said? Well, let me begin by telling you that I apologize for being such a burden towards you and that you won't have to worry any longer. I won't be a part of your team anymore. Sorry for being such an inconvenience. But let me tell you this, Haddock, as I told everyone before, I will always have the last laugh. Turns to Sasuke, and you, I can't believe that you're related to Weasel. Such a shame, really. Now leave, you people don't want to stay here, right? And with that they left. Turning to everyone else he said, you all heard what he said about my parents, right? They nod good, cause I'm going to make him regret it so bad. Wait, you know who your parents are? Jiraiya asked. He nodded a yes. Wait, they know who my parents are? He asked looking at his friends. They nodded. An Anbu comes in and tells the Hokage that the council called a meeting and that Naruto was needed. Council room. As everyone sat down in the room, there was the civilian council and the shinobi council. Sasuke and Kakashi were also there. Just then Tsunade, with the Konoha 10 now walked in with the senseis. I didn't call this meeting, what is it about? Tsunade yelled. It's about the mission to retrieve Sasuke. From what we understand, the demon brat almost killed him. A civilian said. Suddenly treats and wanting him dead were being said. Silence. Now start whatever it is that you are saying. We have decided to cast a vote to see to the execution of the demon. Danzo said coolly. What? Was heard from the group. Even the shinobi council was shocked. You can't execute him. We completed the mission. Shikamaru started. You are out of line boy. Himura said. No, you people are the ones out of line. You can't punish someone for completing a mission, Kiba yelled. The whole group started shouting at the council, which brought pride to the clan head's presence. Enough. You will seize this or else be thrown out. If there is anyone to blame, then it's me. Shikamaru said as he stepped up. I was team leader, meaning it was my responsibility for whatever happened. No, they look and see Naruto standing there with his eyes closed. He opens them and continues, just cast the vote and we'll see. But Naruto Lee starts. No, we don't even know if it would be effective, so there's still a chance, right? They nodded and the vote was cast. Unfortunately luck wasn't on their side as his execution was in place. Sasuke just smirked, happy that the bland annoyance was finally going to leave. Who's going to be my executioner? Naruto asked calmly. I am dope. Finally you'll be gone. He grinned while others just glared at him. Turning to the Anbu he said, here cuff me. I assume I'm going to be in prison. They all just stare at him. You're taking this quite well, demon brat. Because you filthy amateurs, I always have the last laugh. Besides, my sister won't take it so lightly when she hears her brother is going to die. He said as he walked off laughing. End of flashback. Sasuke walked up to Naruto and looked at him with a smudged look. Do you have any last words, dope? Yeah, that's a complete idiot for trusting the council and couldn't even tell the pain they brought to your brother. I can't believe that you took their side after all they did to him. Sasuke just looked at him with a question. What are you talking about? The elders were wide-eyed and told him to hurry up the execution. Oh, you mean little Sasuke doesn't know the truth behind the massacre? How sad. The truth. Yes, the truth. Always get on with the execution. Aren't you supposed to kill me? First tell me what really happened. How do you even know? Sasuke, he's just messing with your head. Really now? Do you know who the Anbu codename Weasel is? Sad you don't know your own brother's mask. Just tell me already. We will tell you about it, Sasuke. Just kill him. Getting his Chidori ready as the crowd waits in anticipation. He got his hand and drove it right through his heart. Or so he thought. Right at the last minute, a sword stopped his Chidori right by Naruto's heart. Took you long enough, Ni-chan. Everyone looked at where the sword came from and then paled. A girl wearing a black coat that was going all the way down, buttoned at her waist. Black tight pants with boots that were over it up to her knees. She wore a black mask and a hood covering her forehead. Only her eyes are seen. Eyes filled with hate and anger. This girl was feared all over the elemental nations to the point that it said in the bingo book that if you would encounter her, then it's better to kill yourself in order to ease the death, and her father was no better, if so worse. There in all her glory stood Mealy Algol, heiress to the world's ruthless organization, and yet he had called her Ni-chan. Sorry, I had to take care of business. Suor, you just wanted to make your dramatic entry. He said as he smiled at his older sister. Although there was a 5-year gap between them, they were the best of friends and related by everything but blood. Alright Naru, get rid of the cuffs. It's time to get serious. Turns to Sasuke. Oh hello there, you're Weasel's little brother aren't you? Why are you still in the village? Sasuke just looked at her as if she was crazy. What do you mean? Forget about that, move aside, I need to kill the dope and get my eyes. So you want to kill him for power? He nods. So the only reason that there is this execution is because you want power. She started to release some of her power and it was intense. The ground started to shake as cracks started to form. It threw him off his feet to the ground. This power. I must have it. Ichiha thought. Ni-chan stop. Forget, they're not worth it. Remember, we came here for a reason, Naruto said to calm her down, which luckily worked. She turned to the crowd, who were scared of the girl. Listen, you stupid idiotic people. I have a message from the 4th Hokage himself. I was told to release it when Naruto turned 18, but in case something happened, I'm allowed to release the message beforehand. What you people did was the most pathetic thing any human being could have done in history. I bet you right know that Minato and his wife are rolling in their graves in hatred for what you did to their son. Gasps were heard everywhere as so many people started to wide-eyed at the revelation. There is no way that the demon is Yondame's son. A pathetic villager yelled. Oh please, I don't know if you're blind, but if a person from Iowa was to look at him, they would have recognized it in a heartbeat. There were murmurs as they finally realized the truth. I don't have time for you people, so just listen to his message. Then she pulled out a box and undid the seal. Soon enough everyone was listening to his message as they saw a project image of what happened 13 years ago. Hello villagers of Konoha. I believe if you're seeing this message, then my surrogate daughter Meili has delivered it to you. Before anything I want to introduce to you my pride and joy, Naruto Namikaze Uzumaki. A newborn child being held by a 5-year-old girl was shown. What gave it away immediately was the whisker-like makers on the child's face. Naru, say hi to the villagers. The little girl said. The baby giggled and then was taken away by his father. This is my son, Naruto. A son that I have to place a heavy burden on in order for every one of you to survive. Kyuubi is shown battle shinobi in the background, and in order for you to survive, I must seal the Kyuubi inside my own. No, you can't do that. Don't you know that the villagers would hate him? It happens everywhere, even though they aren't the demon inside. Why don't you put it on me? I don't mind going through a hard life if it means that my brother gets a normal childhood. The girl said as she sobbed in tears. Minato hugged her and wiped away her tears. The villagers of Konoha won't do that. They are smart and strong and can tell the difference between an innocent boy and a demon. I can't put in you since you already unlocked your Uzumaki. But thank you. It means so much to me for you to go through such lengths. I've always seen you as my daughter, so don't cry. Besides, there's Kakashi who would look out for him for me, he is my student. Okay, but if anyone hurts my brother I'm going to kill them. Meili, you can't kill people from Konoha. It's the home I love, so promise me that you won't kill any shinobi, okay? Okay Toussaint, I won't kill them. But they better not harm him. She said, pouting. Turns back to screen. I must leave now to seal the Kyuubi inside my son. If you're listening, then please forgive me. I'm sorry that you have such a burden, but you live in a great village where they will see you as a hero and not as a demon, because if it wasn't for you, then there won't be a village. The villagers were all on the floor weeping. They have failed their Hokage, their hero, by tormenting and torturing his son. Clapping. Congratulations pathetic villagers, I was right about you all along. I only wish I could have told him I told you so. Turns to Kakashi, and you? You're the most disgusting person here, you know that. Everyone was now listening. Kakashi just looked at her after he kept staring at Naruto the entire time, ghostly paled. He was his sensei's son. You people know what this man said, he called the fourth a bastard and his wife a whore. Haha, I wish Kushina was here. Man, she would have been a one-man army. Milry said as she wiped away her tears of laughter. No, I didn't say that. Kakashi began to defend himself. Don't try to defend yourself, Haddock. You called my father a bastard and my mother a whore. So since they're the fourth and princess of the Whirlpool country, you technically did. Turns to Konoha 10, didn't he call his sensei and wife that? They nodded. You might have been trying to respect Obito by trying Sasuke, Kakashi, but let's not forget that he was a dead last, just like Naruto here. Although it was all a mask. Oh, he dissed the fourth. Kiba exclaimed. I guess he's not a clanless loser, right Sasuke? Since he is the heir to 2 clans, the Namikaze and Uzumaki. Neji said, smuggling. The elders of the council were paired. They tried to execute the son of the 4th Hokage. The Shinobi Council had a feeling that was the case, but they still felt guilty for not providing shelter and care for him. Well then. Let your embarrassment be known all throughout the world, Konoha. This was broadcasted everywhere in front of the daimyos of every nation. Congratulations on trying to kill the 4th Hokage's son. As they were about to leave, they were stopped by Sasuke. Wait. Please tell me the truth about my clan. Finally having enough, Naruto threw a kunai at the boy, who dodged at the last minute, but unfortunately he used it that many have not seen in a while. The Hashira, the one that made his father famous. Now listen to you annoying little brat. If you want information then you make an effort in doing so. Don't think we're buddy all of a sudden. Got it, he said using Karuma's voice, which alerted the others. Yes, he had managed to befriend the fox as a young man who also helped him in his training. Sasuke, trembling with fear, just nodded and then he was thrown onto the ground. Sakura started to charge up to him with a kunai, screaming about hurting Sasuke until she was caught by the throat and held in midair. And you're the most annoying creature I've ever seen. Seriously, why did I choose you for a cover, especially since there's only one girl I like? Then he threw her right next to Sasuke. Looking at Sasuke he said, if you want me to tell you the truth about your clan, then first find out which clan the Uchiha has feared the most. And a little bit of advice: crouches down and whispers, don't trust the council, especially Danzo. He stood up and eyed the crowd that were all begging for forgiveness. He saw Iruka and the ramen family there. They were startled, but he gave them each a hug and said his goodbye. Then he teleported to Konoha 10 and said goodbye to them, but he went to Hinata, grabbed her, and teleported next to Mealy. He then went to Tsunade and Jiraiya and gave them each a hug while he bowed in respect towards the clan heads while showing the finger to the civilian council. He went back to the two ladies and said before he went away for good, "Remember Konoha, I will always have the last laugh," and then left in a yellow flash. Next couple of years weren't so kind towards Konoha. After what had happened, the guests and travelers that came for the festival a week earlier had spread the news like wildfire. Immediately the Wave Country and Spring Country pulled out their alliances since they saw Konoha a place where completing a mission meant execution. They weren't the only ones, as every village and country saw the village as such. Gaara, once finding out what the Hidden Leaf did to his first friend, charged up there with the intent of killing everyone there with a sand tsunami, but was luckily stopped. But he did end the peace treaty with a warning that any Leaf shinobi found at their border would be killed, no questions asked. The Ashi Hyuga banished his daughter from the clan after Naruto took her, but when confronted by Neji, he told the truth, saying whatever had happened during that day he knew it was going to happen. The reason is because Naruto told him about the elders wanting to place the bird seal on Hinata and asked if he would take her away, in which he agreed after hearing his plan. The rest of the Konoha, now 8, went on training every day in order to see their blonde friend again. They completely isolated Sakura and Sasuke, going as far as Ino kicking her out of her flower shop. Sakura was quite happy that the blonde idiot was gone, but after a stern talking from Tsunade and realizing her faults, she wanted to bring him back as well. Sasuke, not caring before, felt somewhat bad after he came across Naruto's hospital records while he was looking for the truth. He was shocked at what he saw and finally understood that although the blonde didn't understand what it meant to not have a family, Sasuke himself didn't understand how it felt to be alone and was abused every day. He made a vow to bring back the only person who ever cared for him as Sasuke and not as an Uchiha. The situation with Kakashi was no better. Every shinobi would sneer at him, make rude comments or just plan to ignore him. They all hated him for what he did and said to the blonde, because no matter what happened no orphan should be told that about their parents. He felt terrible about himself. He tried on one occasion to kill himself, but was found before it could happen by Tsunade, who gave a good beatdown later on. Speaking of Tsunade, she was mostly drunk crying about not being able to save her grandson, but was snapped out of it when Shizune told her that Naruto wouldn't want to see her like this. Jiraiya hardly came to the village. Iruka would get himself drunk and never come out of his room for 2 months, but then did after secretly getting a letter from Naruto telling him he was alright. Ichirakus were always full due to the Yondame's son often coming here, but they were both still sad that the blonde was not there. Konohamaru and his friends began pranking everyone in the village, all the while training to get their boss back. The pranks were in order to keep up his legacy. Everyone wanted him back, but haven't heard from him in about 7 years. 7 years later, it's been 7 years since Naruto, Hinata, and his older sister left, and things weren't just the same. Konoha was already on the path of destruction, and Iwa and Sound, along with other minor villages, had called for war against them, taking advantage of their state. Tsunade sent every available shinobi after the two, but they came up with nothing. She was forced to stop when she got an unexpected visit during a council meeting. Flashback, the couple days after they left, the council room was filled by both the civilian side and the shinobi side. The announcement and revelation hit them hard, well the civilian side at least. The shinobi side had an idea but never gave the boy any support, so they were just as bad. Tsunade then came, and the meeting began. "Okage-sama, have any of the shinobi found the young Namikaze-san?" A civilian asked. "Yes, we must find him as soon as possible. The fourth son is in danger." Silence. "We are doing everything we can to find him, but considering who he went with, then I doubt that he would be found." "Of course you won't find him," a voice said. They looked to see who it was, and when they did, they stopped breathing. "Mealy, I'll go," they thought. "You must bring back Namikaze-sama immediately. He must be safe inside the village," a stupid civilian councilman said. And like a disease, his stupidity reached the other council members on the civilian side, while the shinobi council just prayed the girl won't bring the league into the village. "Are you demanding things from me?" she said in a dangerous tone, as started raising her killing intent. They remained silent. "Every single one of you here are hypocrites. Safe in the village. Wasn't it his execution a couple of days ago? Namikaze-sama. Don't make me laugh. Minato was a complete fool when he put his trust into this village. I was right 13 years ago, and I'm right now. We want to apologize. Apologize for the suffering that he went through. My brother might have had a kind heart, even after everything he went through, he still doesn't want this place destroyed. He doesn't believe in vengeance, but he isn't coming back. Please, we didn't know that he was the fourth son. Bullshit. That doesn't give you the reason to do what you did. He gave out his soul. His soul. And yet you couldn't even respect his last wish. How pathetic. I guess even for the most stupid, mourning for maximum for 2 years is expectable, but for 13 years you people abused him. Nothing you do or say will erase that. I only came to tell you this, Naruto Uzumaki and Hinata Hyuga are both under league protection. Anyone that hurts them or is trying to look for them gets killed regardless of the situation, no questions asked. Good day, and I hope Konoha rots in hell. She said, and then disappeared. Troublesome was all Shikaku said. End of flashback. Since then, no one looked for the two. The Konoha now kept training to get stronger and would go to Ichiraku's once a week to honor their blonde friend. Even after all these years, they completely ignored Sakura and Sasuke. Sakura tried, and even though they still hate her, they have to deal with her on a mission, so try to act civil, as well as Sasuke. Although he shows that he doesn't care, he felt hurt that they ignored him. He also felt guilty for what he was about to do to Naruto. The guilt just kept eating at him, and even though the warning was given, he still secretly looked for him. He also kept researching the truth behind his clan's demise and the clan that the Uchihas feared. Although he never believed it at first, after doing a bit of research, he found out there was indeed a clan that they feared, but he didn't know why, or their name. The very thought made him shudder. He also stopped his vengeance plan on wanting to kill Itachi until he found out the truth. Tsunade Haim, how are you? Jiraiya said, as he entered through the window of the Hokage office. Don't you have any manners? You open the door next time. She yelled at him. Why are you here anyways? Did you know that Yuzu was rebuilt? He asked seriously. She nearly spit out her sake. What? Yeah, I had the same reaction too when I found out. No doubt that the Uzumakas were completely annihilated, but the weird part is that it's been running for the past 5 years. How is that possible? If it were being rebuilt, or at least people who were going to live there, we would have heard about it. But for 5 years we didn't know. Impossible. Unless you knew and were hiding it. She questioned, raising her eyebrow. No, I swear. I just heard about it myself. It is strange, but what I can believe it to be is some kind of seal that forbids some people from knowing its existence. But why would they do that? Even so, if there was a seal, how would you know? Don't really know. It might have been brought down for others to know about it, not really sure myself. After a long silence, she asked, do you think it's him? The boy was smart, hell he was almost 13 when he showed us he knew his father's technique. I'm wondering how old he was when he mastered it. Honestly it could. I don't know. Anbu, bring me the Konoha 10 including Asuma, Kurenai, Guy, and Kakashi. The Anbu bowed and then left. Are you sending them there? Yes, I want them to scout out the area and maybe get a peace treaty. You do know that there isn't a chance that you'll get one if he is the cage there. I know that, but he loved Konoha. We might get a chance. Don't count on it. Now if you excuse me, I need to do some research. He giggled, perverted, and then left. Right after him, the Konoha 10 and their senseis had arrived, although the remainder of Team 7 was being isolated by the rest. You wish to see Hokage Samaniji begin. Yes, I want all of you, although I know it isn't smart to go to Yuzu and scout out the place. With all due respect, Hokage-sama, but wasn't Yuzu destroyed? Kurenai asked. Yes it was, but just about now, Jiraiya came to me with information saying that it was up and running for the past 5 years. They gasped. How in the world was that possible? But if it was, then wouldn't we have known? Asuma asked. We're not sure either, but just go check the place out. Wasn't Yuzu the home of the Uzumakas? Sakura asked. They all glared at her. Yes it was, but they were destroyed. Do you think that it's him? That he rebuilt it? Kiba questioned. The rest waited in anticipation. I don't really know. Nothing is known about this new country, that's why I'm sending you guys. If it's looking for him, then why the hell are they coming? Ino asked as she pointed at Team 7. Enough of this. They're going because I said so. Now get going, as they were leaving Shikamaru said. It's troublesome, but I believe he's there. Odd is his home country after all. Yes it is indeed quite logical to find him there. Shino remarked. It would be nice to see him again, Chaoji said. I hope our youthful chance isn't disturbed because of them. Then they started their journey to Yuzu. Elsewhere, in a dark room where people are seated around a table. My lord, they have been spotted nearing the border towards this country. Your orders. Let them come in. But I want them being tailed at all times. Konoha might be at the brink of destruction, but they must not be underestimated. Understood. And then he left. Lord Yuzukage, what are you planning to do? A red-haired man said. We will put out a show for them. First give them some hope and then take it away from underneath. They've become quite prideful and it's something I'd like to crush. They'll regret betraying Yuzu, that is something I promise. He said as he and a woman standing beside him smirked. Konoha's end is coming fast. It's been a couple of days until the Konoha team has finally reached Yuzu. Along the way, they got into arguments with the remainder of Team 7. Although none of them had really done anything for Naruto, they decided to change after the retrieval incident but couldn't after he left. When they reached the Whirlpool country's gates they were stopped. "Halt. State your business," one of the guards said. "We come from Konoha and we would like to request an audience with the Uzukage," Asuma said. "I wasn't told anything of such sorts. We came here unofficially. Please let us talk to the Uzukage. It's quite urgent," Kurenai pleaded. Just then another guard came and said, "Show us your documentation then you will be able to come in," he said. They did what he was told and then followed him inside. Before they reached the majority population he said, "If I were you I would take those headbands off. Konoha isn't liked here one bit." "Why is that?" "If they have a problem with where we come from then they." Sakura's ranting was stopped by Ino punching her in the face. "Would you shut up? We came to ask for help, not to shout our mouths. I'm not going to have anyone suffer because of your idiocy," she yelled. Then she turned to their escort. "I'm sorry for what she was going to say. You have our deepest apologies." As she bowed in respect, making her teammates and friends feel proud. "It's alright. It's good to see that at least some of you are decent and in your right mind. Would you like a tour? We have quite a while before we reach the hotel," he questioned. "That would be really kind," Tenten exclaimed. Once they reached the more populated places, they realized how beautiful Yuzu was built. The architecture of each building was unique and the population was quite friendly. "As you can see our people welcome anyone and treat one another like family. No one is above another, as the Uzukage himself would come here with his wife and mingle with the citizens. They are both loved in our country and welcome anyone who doesn't have a home or doesn't feel welcome at their home. It's also a place for those missing nin who want a place to call home," he said proudly. "Wow, this place is quite youthful," Lee said as he punched his fist in the air. "Yes it is indeed." A man then came, whispered something in the escort's ear and then vanished. "Well I have good news for you a lot, the Uzukage has made time for you to see him tomorrow. I was also told to show you all around our country. Let's get going now." The first place they arrived at was the Ninja Academy. "This is where our young future shinobi or samurai come to." "Why are there samurai?" Niji asked. "You see the Uzukage wanted to honor Yuzu before its destruction and the Uzumaki were very well known to be. Now if I may continue. There are different classes that can be taken. There are some classes that deal specifically for ninjas, some only for samurai, and others that are for neither of them or both. Can you please explain that more in detail?" Shikamaru asked. "Well there are some people who don't want to be on the battlefield, so they have classes in which they learn what a regular school does. They later become businessmen or women and live their lives like ordinary civilians, but they have to have some self-defense learnt in order to defend themselves if necessary. Of course the ninja and the samurai must attend these classes as well. Then there are those who want to help in the medical field, so there are classes for them, which are sometimes supervised by the lady herself, Lord Uzukage's wife." They looked around into each of the classes and were fascinated at what was being taught. The academy back in their village was nowhere near this level, and the school itself had been built for a vast majority of people to enter. They then went outside to where the training grounds were. Throughout the country there are different types of training grounds. Some are only for ninjutsu, others to jutsu, and others for. But one of the most favorites for those who are hard at work, and my personal favorite, is Training Ground 1. This training ground was created by the Uzukage himself and is quite special. You see it's also named the Surprising Death Ground because of the various trap seals that cover the area. These seals are to test and help train the person in various unknown ways so that they are able to cope in any situation. The tricky part is that the traps automatically change about every hour a day. The Konoha nin were impressed. Such a thing was something they had never thought of before. Next they went to the hospital. They were especially Sakura impressed about the high medical technology that was used in the hospitals, along with a different variety of methods that were used to help heal patients, from simple herbs to advanced technology for surgeries to make them close to 100% successes. "Wow. I've never seen a medical field this advanced before," Sakura exclaimed. "We have an alliance with the Spring Country, which specialize in the advancement in technology. If I remember correctly, Konoha was one of its first alliances. Do you not have these?" he questioned. "They just looked down until they broke our alliance after hearing about a certain incident," Shino said. "Oh yes, I believe I heard that. Sorry for bringing up something painful. Moving along." He showed them their entertainment section, where the casinos and movie theaters were. They were shown the best restaurants and almost went everywhere except the Uzukage's palace. "I've noticed that there aren't any children on the streets. I don't mean to be rude, but surely you do have poor people here, don't you?" Kurenai asked. "Yes we do. But you see, the Uzukage believes that everyone has to have a roof over their heads. He says that they came to this country to seek a new home and a place to stay safe. The orphan children live in dorms in the academy, while poor families are given a home, paid for by the Yuzukage himself. They aren't running down there actually. Oh, here is one of them now. He exclaimed. They looked at where he was pointing at a building that would normally be for middle-class people. It looked simple, yet so elegant. Wow, the Yuzukage really is kind. Tenten said. It is indeed quite youthful what the Yuzukage has done. Lee exclaimed. Yes, being under the command of the Yuzukage is something that everyone here takes great pride in. Hearing you say that, well thank you. Oh, here we are. This is your hotel. If there are any questions, then please feel free to ask me. I will meet you here again at exactly 10 AM to see the Yuzukage. We never really got your name. Do you mind telling us? Niji asked. Oh, how rude of me. You may call me Shinji. He bowed and was about to leave when he stopped. Wait. Sasuke finally spoke up after staying quiet the whole time. Is there a person called Naruto Uzumaki here? There, he said it. The taboo name in Konoha, especially the Konoha 8. They just glared at him. Yes, I do. They all look at him with hope, but that's something that you should take up with the Yuzukage tomorrow. He has much more detail about him. Don't forget what I told you, that Konoha isn't welcomed here, so make sure that no one finds out. Then he left. They must have figured out what we did to him, Kiba said. This is his home country. I bet they did. If he's here, then Hinata-sama must be here as well. Niji said. He was pretty glad that his cousin got away before they put the cage seal on her, and he was grateful to Naruto for taking her away. But you must admit that this place is amazing. The restaurant that we had dinner in was delicious. Chaoji exclaimed. I have to agree. I've never had such a great meal before and at such low prices. Kurenai said. Well, I got our hotel rooms, everyone went in and got some rest. We could all agree how great and better than Konoha this place is. Asuma said jokingly. The entire time, Kakashi never said a word, and like the rest of his students, he was keeping an eye out to see if they might have seen the person they had wronged the most. The next day they met Shinji outside their hotel. Once they were all there, they made their way to the palace. Isn't the Yuzukage supposed to be something more simple? I mean, it makes it look as if he's the king or something. Sakura asked, knowing they would all glare at her. Yes, but the people of this country wanted to make him and his wife feel special because of everything they've done for us. Honestly, we see them both as the king and queen of the Whirlpool country, and some of us actually refer to him that way, but he waves it off saying that we should call him Yuzukage or just boss, something 3 little children who were his familiars used to call him. When they finally reached the palace, they were amazed at its sight. It was the most beautiful thing that they had ever seen to date. They were led down a path that had water on the floor and were going to use Uzumaki to walk on it when they were stopped. You don't have to apply Uzumaki. There is a glass floor that is over the water that makes it look like it's just water. Shinji explained. Soon enough they found out that it was under a glass floor. I guess they put it off as one of the world's many wonders. They finally reached the main room and were met with a table and people surrounding it. There were 2 empty seats at the front of the table, which they assumed belonged to Yuzukage and his wife. They all stood in a line, side by side, as they waited for the Yuzukage to arrive. Just then the large doors opened and in came the Yuzukage. He was wearing a grey cage hat along with matching white and grey robes. His hat covered his face and he sat down. Sorry for being late. I had to take care of some last-minute errands. My wife will join us soon. Yuzukage said. It's alright, boss. I brought the people from Konoha with me. They'll tell you why they came. Shinji said. Thank you, Shinji. You may leave. He bowed in respect and then left. You people of Konoha dare show your face here after what you've done to us last time. A red-headed man said. Arashi, that's enough. They will pay, but not now. Yuzukage said. Of course. Sorry about my outburst. Now I would like to know why Konoha-nin is uninvited, no less. You were supposed to send a letter first, common courtesy I believe. Yuzukage said. The nin just gulped in fear and it was Asuma who finally spoke up. We come from our Hokage, Lord Yuzukage, for an alliance to be formed between our village and yours. What exactly would we benefit from this alliance? From what I understand, Konoha's downfall began when they decided to execute a shinobi to complete his mission. Yuzukage said. That's not true. Sakura yelled out, he hurt Sasuke-kun and almost killed him. She was stopped when she felt some deadly killing intent. Are you trying to call me a liar? Yuzukage said in a calm but threatening voice. She quickly shut up and looked down. I've met the young boy you are talking about. This piqued their interest. I know everything that he went through when he stayed in Konoha and I know it wasn't pretty. Kakashi Haddock wasn't. Arashi spoke up. I can't believe that my nephew was put through such horrible things. I just wish my sister was alive to witness her one-man army destroy Konoha. He said, as the rest of the council there laughed. You're Arashi Uzumaki, brother to Kushina Uzumaki, brother-in-law to Minato Namikaze, and uncle to their child Naruto Uzumaki. Then yes, I am. And Konoha has a lot of explaining to do to betray both the Whirlpool country before and one of our own. He said darkly. But that the Uzumaki clan was wiped out. Too bad. We're still alive. We were likely Kushina tell you about your betrayal beforehand. If you're wondering if Yonde knew, then he didn't. Honestly boss, I don't see why we should get into an alliance with him. What exactly would we gain besides joining and aiding them in war? A councilman said. Seeing as the council was agreeing and things were not going well for Konoha, Kakashi decided to speak up. I honestly don't know what Konoha has done to the Whirlpool country before, but an alliance would greatly benefit the both of us. The Uzukage looks quite young, and we have elders that could help him in his political views. You already know that we're at war, but you have to see that we're quite desperate. The Uzukage thought carefully and said, do you know why Konoha is in this situation in the beginning? They looked confused at what he was saying. Naruto Uzumaki, they looked at him wide-eyed. You want to blame everything on him, don't you? First the Kyuubi attack, he holds the fox at bay and is thus treated like a demon. Honestly, do you know how foolish Konoha sounded when I heard all of this information? It's like you're saying a newborn child, only an hour less old, was able to almost completely demolish a powerful village. How pathetic. The councilman just laughed at the statement, while the Konoha shinobi were red with embarrassment and anger. If I remember correctly, Uzukage-sama had told the young boy that my brother-in-law was a bastard and my sister a whore. Now I might have not liked the man, but I don't quite like my sister being described like that. Arashi said coldly. I won't help Konoha in its war. You came here uninvited. I don't quite see what's preventing me from sending you back to your village in boxes. Now leave, I don't want to see you in my sight. His voice boomed. Wait please, you don't understand, Konoha will lose if you don't help us. Ino exclaimed. Not my problem. Konoha is the least of my problems. All of you except Kurina Yuuhi and Shikamaru Nara. They all scurried out of the palace, being escorted by a guard. They had lost all hope of the Uzukage helping, and now their village was doomed. But one thing was on their mind. What did Konoha do to Uzushio before? Back inside the palace, the Uzukage sent out his council as well, and now it was only him and the two Konhinin. Not to sound rude, Lord Uzukage, but why were we told to stay behind? Kurenai asked. She and Shikamaru had no idea what was going on. Wait 1 second please, turns to Dorheim, you can come out now. He said. Then a beautiful woman of about 20 years old came out. Her lavender hair and pupilless eyes gave it away immediately. Hinata. Kurenai exclaimed. She was worried sick of what might have happened to her student, and now here she was, a confident beautiful woman. It's really nice to see you, sensei. It's been a while. She said as she hugged the woman. Troublesome, then you must be. Yup, I see your laziness is still there. The Uzukage said as he removed his hat to reveal him to be none other than Naruto Uzumaki. And Naruto, Kurenai said as she stopped hugging Hinata. The one and only. Seeing that you're confused, yes, I'm the Uzukage, your king of the Whirlpool country. Hinata is seen as the queen of the country. Let me start from the beginning. After my sister took us away from the village, we were brought to her home, where we trained, and then had the idea to reform Uzushio after I found out that the Uzumakis were indeed alive. Are the Uzumakis alive? But I thought they were wiped out in the Third Shinobi War. Shikamaru asked. No, they weren't really. This is a dark secret, actually, from Konoha. You have to promise not to say anything until I do, okay? They nodded, and he continued, well, I guess you know that Konoha and Uzushio had an alliance from the time of the Shadame Hokage. During the Third Shinobi War, Konoha decided to sell the Uzumakis out to the enemy nin in order to keep their numbers and stop the war. This information shocked the two Konoha nin. They had no idea that Konoha had done such a horrid thing. No wonder the Uzumaki during the meeting earlier were completely against it. Kurenai said. Yes, honestly, they wanted to go to war with Konoha after Naruto stabilized the country in secret, but he managed to change their thoughts around by telling him about his own past and how he still wouldn't get revenge. Hinata said, and at this they felt relieved. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. If Konoha treated their own like trash, then they more than certainly deserved to get revenge. Shikamaru said. But will you still not help? It was your home village. Kurenai asked. Not to sound rude or anything, sensei, but Konoha wasn't our home. We all know what they did to Naruto, and my family wanted me dead. They gasped. What do you mean, Hinata? First, there are things that we kept a secret for a bit too long. Naruto and I were together about a while before we left, and we were friends before that. The only reason why we didn't publicize it was because he and I would have been hurt. Another thing is, sensei, that my father wanted to brand me the bird seal, and I overheard some of the elders plotting to kill me with it afterwards. I told Naruto, and knowing that the council would probably banish or execute him, we came up with a plan. The flash thing that happened 7 years ago with the daughter of Raz Al Ghul, right? Shikamaru said. Yup, we both knew Mealy, and she helped out. Remember that little girl in the projection of the fourth speech? Well, that was her. Hinata concluded. Thinking of everything they were told they had to understand. Nodding, they didn't push forward. I can see why you wanted us, but what about the others? Team 7 is understandable, but the others were on your side, Naruto, why not tell them? Kurenai asked. It's true that they helped. But honestly, it was a bit too late. If it gives you any consent, if Konoha falls, I'll give asylum to the shinobi clan and everyone who didn't treat me badly before my heritage was revealed. That's all. Laughing, he continued, I can see the tension between Team 7 and the others. What's up? Everyone distances themselves from them. It's troublesome, but they all regret what they did to you, surprising Sakura as well, but I think Lady Tsunade beat her up in order to open her eyes. They all laughed as they imagined the said scenario. I guess you should get going, huh? Naruto said. Yeah, but what do we tell the others? Kurenai said. Actually, I have a plan. 1 week Konoha, the scouting team from Yuzushio returned and reported their failed mission to Tsunade. She was, however, impressed at how well the country was managed and how it was run. She, like Sakura, was impressed with their hospital and medical maintenance. It was like a dream place she had always wanted to work in. Although we didn't get an alliance with Yuzushio, we managed to see how it was run, or some of it. Did you manage to at least know who it was? She questioned. Kurenai and Shikamaru didn't say a word and the others shook their heads no. Lady Tsunade, the council just called a meeting and you're needed. Shizune said as she came in. Tsunade shooed the others out of the room, but Kurenai and Shikamaru stayed. Is there something I could do for the two of you? She said. Taking a deep breath. Tsunade-sama, it's something private that we must discuss with you before you leave. Nodding, she sent her Anbu out and put up a silencing seal. Now tell me what it is. It better be good. It's about how Naruto. Shikamaru started as her eyes grew wide. Council room. The council room was filled, along with the scout team that came from Yuzushio. All they were waiting for was Tsunade, Kurenai, and Shikamaru. The scout team realized that the two were acting strangely after their meeting the Uzukage, but they told them that he just said he'd think about it, much to their relief. Just then, the three entered, with Tsunade having a smudged look on her face which she quickly repressed. Why is there a meeting here? She questioned. Okage-sama, we heard that Yuzushio was rebuilt. Is that true? A councilman asked. Yes, it is indeed true, that is why I sent a scouting team to the country and try to get an alliance. They should agree, we had an alliance before. A stupid councilman said. We had an alliance with the Uzumaki clan, they were the inhabitants of the Whirlpool country. Now that they're wiped out, the new inhabitants aren't Uzumaki. Choza spoke up. You see, that's where you're wrong. The Uzumaki clan is alive, and let's just say that they're not happy at what you did to one of their own. Tsunade grinned. At this, everyone was stunned, even Danzo. What do you mean, Haim? A boy said. Emerging, it was seen that it was Jiraiya. Just, as I said. They encounter Arashi Uzumaki, Kushina's brother, and let's just say that he wanted our Konoha team sent back in boxes. Arashi Uzumaki. Inoji exclaimed. Everyone paled at that statement. Arashi Uzumaki was well known for his strength and power, which far exceed the fourth and third Hokage. Yup. He also found out about Naruto. He told him everything, from his treatment in Konoha to his execution that was narrowly escaped. She continued. Actually, Hokusama, he didn't escape. Shikamaru said as he gained everyone's attention. What are you blind? The boy went away with her. A councilman said. Are you insulting my son in front of me? Shikaku said as he rose to his feet. This got the man to shut up and sit down. Troublesome. Anyways, apparently he could have left any time he wanted but wanted to reveal his heritage and then leave. He was always unpredictable, and that shows it. Of course, using his father's was something else as well. Did you meet Naruto there? Is he alright? Jiraiya started to ask. Well, that brings me to another topic. The Uzukage is going to come here and see if an alliance would work out. Tsunade said. When will he get here? Hiashi asked. Right now. She said as she threw a kunai to the floor. The shinobi heads instantly knew what was happening, but not the civilians. Before they could say anything, the room was engulfed in a yellow flash. Dying down, they were met with a red-headed man, a lavender-haired woman, and a man wearing a grey cage hat. Instantly recognizing the woman, Hinata. The ones who knew her yelled, except for Kurenai and Shikamaru, who knew. Hello, Konoha. I see the council is gathered to talk about the alliance, if there is one. Who are you? A councilwoman said. The Uzukage, he said calmly as he sat down, Hinata seated in the chair beside him and the red-haired man standing behind him. Hello, Lord Uzukage, it's a pleasure to meet you. Tsunade said, taking out her hand, trying not to cry. It's an honor to meet you as well, Lady Hokage, he said. Why can't we see your face? And why do you have the fourth? It belongs to Konoha. A pink-haired woman, a part of the council, screeched. I hope you could lower your voice. Honestly, even after 7 years the civilian council is such an annoyance. He said as he slowly took off his hat. Fully revealing himself, much to their shock, he began to speak. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, son of the Yondaime Hokage, Minato Namikaze, and princess of the former Whirlpool country Kashina Uzumaki, great-grandson of the Shodaime Hokage, Hashirama Senju, and great-grandnephew of the Nidaime Hokage, Tobarama Senju, godson of legendary Sannin Jiraiya the Toad Sage, and Uzukage of the Whirlpool country. But then you all know me as the demon brat, dead last of Konoha, and to be executed by Sasuke Uchiha for completing a mission, who would have turned traitor. He smirked as he looked at their faces. They all paled at what he said. You're related to the first and second, along with the fourth. Humora said. He is my grandson as well. Tsunade said. Looking at Hinata and the redhead he continued. How rude of me, this is Hinata Uzumaki, seen as the queen of the Whirlpool country, second in strength next to me and my wife. Seeing Hiyashi's shocked face. Oh Hiyashi-san, what's the matter? Sad you couldn't kill your weak daughter. Hinata said mockingly, which shocked everyone, especially Niji. You can't be that strong. Danzo said. Throwing him a bingo book. Bingo book, page 23. Naruto said. They all turned to the page and paled a new shade of white if it was possible. On the page was a fearsome new masked man under the name Bloody Kitsune due to his mask resembling a fox and was a SS rank nin. What shocked them here was that every shinobi in that room had run into him and lost badly. Enough with the small talk, state what this alliance will benefit for Uzushio. Naruto started, going into serious mode. We demand you to create an alliance with us. An idiotic councilman said. Shut up. That isn't how an alliance is made. Tsunade said, as you can see Konoha is on the brink of war and we want you to help us in the battle. After he left, word of your execution reached everywhere and our alliances were cut off. Let me ask my question again. What will Uzushio get from this alliance? Konoha was your home, you brat. We sheltered you and this is how you repay us. Another stupid councilman said. Just when Tsunade was going to shut them up, Naruto spoke up. You're right, he stared as the civilian smiled, knowing he would help Konoha, but the shinobi side weren't easily fooled, a place where I was supposed to call home, but instead I would get beaten, burned alive, tortured, shops would refuse to sell me anything, the many target and fox hunts, as you put it. My academy grade sabotage, kicked out of the orphanage at 3, my apartment always trashed. I should help the very same people that wanted my death and were about celebrating my execution for bringing back a traitor. They looked down in shame. I don't think anyone in their right mind would help such a disgusting place in the beginning. Honestly, I'm always asked when I'm going to destroy Konoha for what was done to me. They just paled and wondered. Now let me ask you this. Give me one non-delusional question as to why I should help Konoha. No one spoke up. I guess we have our answer, my love. He said as he turned to Hinata. Yes, I guess we do. I think we should get going now. Wait. I know we didn't do you well before, but can't you let it go and help us now? Tsum said. I remember begging for my attacker to stop hitting me when I was 3, but did they know? You want me to forget? Why didn't you people forget about the Kyuubi attack? That isn't quite fair, Tsum-san. Especially since I didn't do anything, but then again, you people are still thinking the demon brat doesn't have rights, aren't you? He said smirking. You should just let me destroy the damn place already. I was being controlled last time, but I'll be willing now. The red-haired man said. Excuse me, but who are you? Sakura asked. Turning and looking at the scouting team he said, oh will you look at that if it isn't the pink-haired bee and her friends. I might not have known you all well, but I still appreciate what you did. And, as for you, still trying to get together with the Uchiha. He said mockingly. Trying to stop her husband, Hinata said. This is Kuruma, the advisor of the Uzukage, but you all know him well under his title, as the Kyuubi no Kitsune. She said. Suddenly, Anbu started to get ready to attack. What is that monster doing here? Naruto, why did you unseal it? Jiraiya exclaimed. Suddenly the room temperature dropped and the killing intent made the standing shinobi fall on the floor. Are you trying to call my friend a monster? Naruto said darkly. They quickly shook their heads. I'm sick and tired of this place. Let's go home, Kuruma, we're leaving. He said as they turned to leave. Just then, Danzo signaled his route to kill the Uzukage as he was too powerful. Kunai was heading his way but were stopped tails. Was this meeting an assignation attempt or talks for an alliance? Well Danzo. He looked straight at the man. Then Kuruma wrapped one of his tails around the man and brought him in front of the Uzukage. For crimes against the Uzukage, you will be eliminated. Hinata said in a serious tone, shocking her father. Wait. Please, don't kill him. Kaheru said. He tried to kill me, so in exchange for Uzushio to not call war on Konoha, I'll kill him. She stated. Can't we work something out? Kaheru said. Danzo was going to be a great asset to the upcoming war. Fine then, in exchange for his life, I get to take anyone who is a Konoha citizen, alright. Naruto said. You can't take one of our top shinobi like Kakashi. A councilman said. No, I'll take a civilian, but not now. As for Haddock, I don't give a shit about what happens to him. He could die for all I care. This stabbed Kakashi, who was there, right through him. He knew what he had done and wanted the boy's forgiveness, but now he saw no way of having it. After signing the agreement, they left the meeting room and they were on their way to a hotel to stay for the night. They went to their hotel room and got a knock on the door. Opening it, they saw it was the Konoha 8, their senseis, and the two Sannin. Tsunade immediately engulfed the blonde boy into a hug, which he returned as he and Hinata were swarmed by their friends. You brat. Do you know how worried I was about you? Now you show up as Yuzukage. She exclaimed. Then there was Raz Al Ghul's daughter. How the hell do you know her? Jiraiya said. Well, remember the little girl in the project that was with Dad and me? Then one he saw as his daughter. Yeah, I remember seeing her from time to time, why Jiraiya said. Then it came to him, no way. That was her. But I don't remember seeing her in the village. It's because she made me keep it a secret and all. When she first found out about the villagers' treatment, let's just say that for a 5-year-old, I was quite persuasive to make her not burn down the village. They all shuddered at the thought of the leaf being destroyed. They all talked and asked questions and generally had a great time. They also found out that the young couple already had a child, almost 2 years of age. You, my cousin, at a young age? Niji asked darkly. They all sweat-dropped at his overprotectiveness. Mama Niji Nai-san, it's alright. Besides, he's the cutest little guy ever. Where is he right now? Ino said. Probably with Mealy or another Uzumaki, back home. Naruto said. So they didn't go extinct, huh? Jiraiya said. Nope. Anyway, Hinata. He then pointed to the door. She slowly walked over and opened it suddenly, causing a brunette to tumble in. She looked up and was met with Hinata looking at her. Hello there, little sister. Did you need something? She said. Hinata honestly liked her sister, but she was the one who pushed her away. Do you hate me? She finally managed to say as she looked down. Hanabi always loved her sister and always saw her strong, despite what happened. She was suddenly engulfed in a hug by her older sister. Of course I don't. She said. She came in and the rest just started to talk again, even with Kuruma, after realizing he had the superiority complex of being the strongest. Naruto slipped out unnoticed and went to his parents' grave. Never came here for a while. How are the two of you? Mom, guess what, I found the Uzumaki clan. Can you believe it? I actually had family out there. He said as tears started to form in his eyes. And no, Dad, I don't hate you. I know you would want to ask. I came back to this hellhole because I wanted to see you guys again. Can you believe they had the nerve to ask for an alliance after everything they've done? He sensed someone nearby, 3 people to be exactly. What is this supposed to be, a team reunion? But then again, I wasn't a part of your team, now was I? The 3 figures then emerged. Yes, you were Naruto. You were and still are our friend. Sakura yelled. Wow, now Konoha has hypocrites. Congratulations on going on level down from worse than scum. He said as he sarcastically clapped his hands. Naruto, she's telling you the truth. We were wrong and we're really sorry about what we did. Just give us a chance. Sasuke said. I did, and do you know where that left me with a Chidori right through my chest and my execution? You wanted me dead and now you want to apologize. What kind of crazy, you know what, forget it. I don't need you or anyone else. He began to leave and then stopped. Oh yeah, Mealy wanted to ask if you figured out the question she asked you 7 years ago. You had plenty of time. He said, looking at him. Sorta, I think she could fill in the blanks. Okay then, I'll tell her. Walking away he says, you know Sasuke, there was a time I wanted you, as a friend, that I would have told you so many of my secrets. Sasuke looked at him wide-eyed and did the other 3. I was willing to show you my family's scrolls and entrain secretly with Kuruma in my family home. I even wanted to tell you the truth behind your clan, but no. You were too arrogant and thought everything went your way. You were the village's prince and I was the village's demon, but we still had the same pain. Then there's you, Haddock, Kakashi gulped. Naruto, I'm real, save it. I thought that if I was on my father's students' team that I could talk to you and trust you too. Maybe to tell you I knew about my heritage, but then I found out even though you don't know. Goodbye Team 7 and good riddance. He said and disappeared in a flash. I don't know about the 3 of you, but I'm not giving up. Sakura said confidently as the others nodded in agreement. I'll be the friend that you deserve, Naruto. Thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. See you next time, till then sayonara.